Welcome to the overview of the Periodic Resource Allocation Review Process, 2nd edition. This video provides a brief overview of the Periodic Resource Allocation Review, the objective of this collaborative inquiry with the MDE, an explanation on how the 5 steps include the 6 phases of the Resource Allocation Review completed by schools, and instructions for accessing guidance materials. The Periodic Resource Allocation Review, PRAR, is a federal mandate for MDE to periodically review resource allocation to support school improvement in a district serving a significant number of schools identified for supports. This slide details the ESSA legislation regarding the Periodic Resource Allocation Review. Specifically, subsection 3, continued support for school and local educational agency improvement, mandates that the state agency, MDE, shall complete certain activities. Paragraph A, sentence 2, instructs the state to conduct a periodic resource allocation review to support school improvement in each local educational agency, the district, in the state serving a significant number of schools identified for CSI, ATS, and TSI, as highlighted with purple font in subsentences 1 and 2. As mandated by the Every Student Succeeds Act, ESSA, the Michigan Department of Education, MDE, must periodically review resource allocation in districts with a significant number of schools identified for comprehensive support and improvement, CSI, additional targeted support, ATS, and/or targeted support and improvement, TSI. This review involves a collaborative effort with the district to examine overall district-wide resource allocation and usage, as well as each individual resource allocation review completed by the schools identified for additional support within that district. Although a school identified for targeted support and improvement, TSI, is not required to complete a resource allocation review for inclusion in the TSI plan, it is included in the total number of schools receiving additional support, and therefore considered part of the periodic resource allocation review process. A significant number is determined by identifying the number of identified CSI, ATS, and/or TSI schools within a district. Michigan defines significant as being 2 standard deviations or more from the mean of a data set. Therefore, when a district serves a number of identified schools that are 2 standard deviations above the statewide mean, it is determined that the district serves a significant number of schools identified for additional support and is required to participate in a periodic resource allocation review. During the previous identification cycle, the significant number was 6 or more schools identified for support within a single district. The Periodic Resource Allocation Review Process Guide is located on the MDE website titled Resources for Schools Identified for CSI, ATS, or TSI, and may be accessed by using the QR code on the upper right corner of this slide. The document is tabulated for navigating the guidance. This process is a structured approach to inquiring about a potential resource inequity within the district. It begins with a foundational commitment from leadership, followed by the formation of dedicated district and school level teams to drive the process. A key step involves engaging in a comprehensive data dialogue about the district-wide expenditures. This is further deepened by a district-wide dialogue on resource allocation reviews completed by each school identified for additional support. It is suggested that schools identified for targeted support and intervention, TSI, are included in this process to generate a more comprehensive picture. The culmination of these efforts is the development of a plan to address any identified resource inequities, aiming to foster a more equitable allocation of resources across the district, ensuring each student has improved outcomes. This inquiry is a collaborative effort involving the MDE, ISD RESA partners, and district leadership. Together, they support the facilitation of the district-wide PRAR and ensure schools conducting building-level resource allocation reviews receive necessary assistance. Schools, in turn, work with district leadership to build capacity, gather data, and foster consensus to identify and resolve resource inequities. This information will be gathered and reviewed by a district team to identify commonalities, root cause, and develop a district-wide plan of action. Strong leadership commitment ensures that the PRAR is perceived as a relevant and supported initiative leading to effective identification and resolution of resource inequities to improve student outcomes. Leadership commitment includes providing clear communication with high expectations throughout the process. Maintaining a clear understanding of the why of this work and how it supports district priorities increases this task's relevance and motivates the team. Accountability and success are fostered through clear goals, a detailed timeline, and a genuine desire to identify and address the existing challenge. Active participation builds trust and shared ownership of the results. This equates to an investment in professional learning with ongoing support that includes addressing barriers and making the necessary resources available to the team. By providing the necessary staff, time, and materials to accomplish this task, the leadership demonstrates the importance of this activity. An estimated 2 to 6 hours is needed for team leader preparation. During this time, the team leader can collaborate with district leadership and the ISD RESA partner to accomplish several critical tasks: reviewing guidance documentation, establishing goals and a timeline, forming a cohesive team, and identifying essential resources, training, and data objects to support the inquiry. Team leaders will also manage scheduling meetings and overseeing the completion of individual building resource allocation reviews. The flowchart on the right corresponds to the steps for completing the PRAR on the left. Over the next few slides, I'll delve into each step individually. Step 1, notification and process understanding. Step 2, MDE data collection and analysis report preparation. Step 3, MDE facilitated district data dialogues. Step 4, addressing findings from the PRAR inquiry. And Step 5, MyKIP documentation. Through these steps, the Periodic Resource Allocation Review, or PRAR, is designed as a collaborative effort to empower districts to pinpoint and resolve resource inequities, ensuring every student has access to the necessary support for success. Step 1, MDE notification. The journey begins when the MDE notifies the district superintendent and/or the district's primary point of contact about the requirement to engage in a PRAR. An MDE representative will then schedule a meeting to provide details and technical assistance documentation to district leadership. Following this, district leadership identifies a team to participate in the review. The MDE collaborates with the district to discuss areas of focus for the inquiry and schedules collaborative data dialogue meetings. The district team is expected to participate in training on the review process and can request additional technical assistance from their ISD RESA partner or the MDE. In Step 2, the MDE collects data and prepares a report for analysis. The MDE collects resource allocation and utilization data that is already available. Districts are not asked to produce additional reports. This data can include but is not limited to school-level per-pupil expenditures and may compare these figures with student outcomes across the district. The MDE prepares a report and works with the district to plan a 90-minute collaborative data dialogue meeting. This meeting is a collaborative activity for districts to analyze data presented by the MDE. This is not a compliance or auditing activity. Key participants include district representatives, such as the business manager, human resource director, and/or curriculum director, building leaders from the identified schools, students, parents, family, community representatives, and MDE staff. During Step 3, the MDE facilitates district data dialogues. The MDE primary point of contact facilitates team dialogues focused on the provided data, discussing strengths and areas for growth related to the allocation and use of funds to improve student outcomes. Identified schools, those receiving comprehensive supports and improvement, CSI, or additional targeted support, ATS, are required to complete the individual resource allocation reviews. Completing the RAR is strongly recommended for any school identified for targeted support and improvement, TSI, to generate a more comprehensive understanding of resource allocation to schools identified for additional supports. Following this, a second data dialogue is held where each school leader presents their school-level RAR findings. The district team then collectively analyzes these findings to determine district resource equity. Finally, the MDE and the district discuss and agree upon the final determination of equity within the resource allocation. The district team moves on to determine causation of an identified resource inequity to inform resolution planning. Step 4. Addressing the findings of the PRAR inquiry. Upon identifying any inequities, the district team, including leaders from the participating buildings, will explore the causality behind the determination made in Step 3. Based on this root cause analysis, the district team develops a plan to address the identified issues. The district then composes a summary statement outlining the findings in their plan of action, explicitly connecting the identified issues to the proposed solutions and anticipated student outcome improvements. This plan, along with the findings, must be agreed upon by both the MDE and the district. Finally, Step 5. MyKIP documentation involves documenting the results of the PRAR within the MyKIP platform. The district is responsible for entering the resource inequity summary statement and the detailed action plan activities into the MyKIP platform. This includes uploading relevant data objects, such as the PRAR data presentation, root cause diagrams, and other supporting information. The district, school, and MDE will then monitor the progress of addressing the identified resource inequity as part of their monitoring process for the required school improvement plan. Technical assistance for this process may be provided by the district ISD RESA partner, MyKIP support team, a partnership agreement liaison, coordinated supports point of contact, or by contacting Stephen Curry at currys1@michigan.gov or 517-241-6961.